Hey there! Here we are back in my garage, and this is my Ducati Scrambler adventure bike project. It's coming along really nice. I just did a video on some of the improvements I've made to it. Things make it a little bit nicer for going off-road and for going on long trips. And before I was just using basically a bag on the back on the rack, and now with these saddlebags, it's going to increase my storage and things that I can take with me. So it's not so cramped anymore, and also it's taking the weight down from back in here down a little lower. Hopefully make it easier to pick up the bike and give me more balance on the road, make me feel a little bit more comfortable. Now I was really excited to get these secondhand, as I said, on a really good deal. But the problem is with these soft banners is you really need racks underneath them to keep them from flopping around and going into the tire. I was kind of hoping these would set on the set up high enough to where the seat would hold them. But you see I've got the right one really loaded up there, and the left one's about half loaded. I'm just kind of checking the capacity of them. These expand as you undo the zipper around them, which makes them really handy. But the problem is in the weight, they start flopping around. So I went online to see, what does it cost to get those side racks that help secure the saddlebags. But they were $200, $250 for these little thin pieces of metal that you put on your bike. That's more than I paid for the saddlebags. Way more. So I thought, you know what, maybe I could just make those myself. So there we are without the saddlebags. Let me show you what I just made. I just made a couple of little racks here, or supports. They were simple to make. Basically, you've got two mounting points under the back on both sides of the Ducati. You can put a rack on there, you can mount all kinds of things. So what I did is I just got some little L brackets, and they need to be fairly heavy metal to go from there, under there, and then you just put a bolt through them. And I did two separate ones. I've seen where they're all one piece, but that looked kind of complicated. So then I made those, and then I took some stainless steel that I had and just bent it in a U and split it and stuck it right up over those and welded it on. Yeah, and they're pretty strong. So yeah, move the whole bike around, hanging on to that, and fairly light. And I've got the other one already done on this side. And I put just a little bit of reinforcing on the corners there to kind of give that L bracket a little more strength. But again, if you go with a little bit heavier L bracket, you wouldn't even need that. Yeah, you can see how I came down there. Made a corner. So just a couple of L brackets, and I stuck them right over the top of my rack mount, squeezed them in there and ran the bolts through, and just a couple of U's there. It was pretty simple to make. Most of the bending I did on my vise. I do have a pipe bender, but this is pretty thin metal, and it bent just fine. So those cost me nothing to make, but some time, a couple of afternoons of messing around. Then I painted them, and as I mentioned in another video, I just standard black paint, and then stuck them in the oven in a pan and cooked them for about an hour at 150, and it not only dries the paint but makes it very hard scratch resistant, so you get a really good result for so you get a better result, actually I should say, than just painting them and putting them on there. So now I'm all set. I did have to move my blinkers. As you can see, they were mounted back by the tail light. I moved them down to the fender so that they wouldn't be, the saddlebags wouldn't be blocking them. And they sit at a little angle. They're kind of cute. They work really good. So we're getting more set for adventure riding. if you've got time, and especially during this quarantine time and the virus, for the virus, take some time. Make some of this stuff yourself. Don't just go online and buy it. I see some guys doing videos, and they've got their scrambler project, and well, I sure appreciate watching them, but they just go out and buy one expensive item after another and put it on their bikes, and that's great. But you know, if you don't have that kind of budget to make, if you don't have that kind of budget to just go out and buy everything, why not make some stuff? It doesn't take much. If you got a little welder, a little buzz box welder, and a little hand grinder, you can make just about anything. All right. Well, stay safe, stay healthy, be blessed, and have some great riding. Freshly baked motorcycle parts. Cooked for 1 hour at 150 degrees. Can't wait to taste those.